So this is a short exercise, and it's a great way of perceiving the world and changing our perception. As I've said many times before, a lot of what we see out in the world is projection. You know, it's people trying to change the out there so that they feel better in here. So we want letters after our names, we want to achieve more, we want more followers, we want more business, we want a bigger house, we want more kids, we want less kids, we want our kids to be this way or to be that way, we want our husband or our wife to be. We're trying to change all the out there. Now a grander scale of that is climate strike, or people who are quite obviously in pain. Okay, we can see it in them. They're in pain and they're projecting their pain out onto the world. So they're trying to say, we got to stop driving cars, or we got to stop flying planes, or we got to stop eating meat, we got to stop. So they're trying to change the world. They're trying to stop the world doing something that they dislike so that they will feel better internally. Isn't that interesting? So I know you may not agree with this. I'm not saying we don't have to stop driving cars or flying planes or eating meat. In fact, don't have an opinion on that either way. I would suggest to you to do what you're moved to do. I do what I'm moved to do. And if I'm moved to buy a huge gas guzzling car, if I get the money, I'll do that. We have to get complete with our experiences. The aim here is not to live the way society tells us to live, or the way is fashionable or trendy, or because we feel guilty driving a fast car or getting on a plane or eating meat. The aim is to honour your experience and your journey. You live and honour, stand in your power, stand in your ground, and integrate your pain rather than spitting it out and projecting it out into the world. So more and more that's what we're seeing. The increased protests, bankers, revolutions. All of those things are people who can't deal with their pain. Now, I'm not saying that these things are unnecessary. There's a way to do these things and we'll get to that. But it's when we've unintegrated emotion and we're screaming, and we're triggered and we're blaming men or toxic masculinity or meat eaters or whatever it may be. That's our own inner turmoil and pain that we can't actually sit with, we can't honour, we can't bring home. And it's a beautiful thing for a person to be able to witness themselves, witness the pain within them and honour the pain within them. And then when that's integrated, they may be moved. They may be moved to write a book. Someone might buy that book about not eating meat or not driving cars, or make a video, or I don't know, or stand peacefully at the side of the road with a banner that say, I don't eat meat. That's very different to getting out in the world and hammering people over the head with whatever you think they should do. Anyway, this is the exercise, and this fucking hell, this can change your life continually. Believe me. For me, it's an ongoing it's a great insight. So consider someone in your life that you think they could be doing better. Maybe they're in a relationship that you kind of think, I wish he or she would kind of move on from that. They're not that person doesn't really respect them or honour them. Or maybe there's someone who works too much and you think, they could really fucking work less hours, or they could, manage their money better, they could eat better, whatever it may be. Let's push it a step further. Consider a person who you've actually interacted with on these types of topics, that maybe you went to them and maybe you said, would you not think of maybe if you ate less meat, or maybe if you ate more meat, or maybe if you drove a little slower, or maybe if you did this or that. Now you in your mind, you've got better examples than I'm fucking coming up with. It could be one of your kids that you want them to live differently. It could be your partner or your spouse that just continually does stuff that doesn't seem to be learning, doesn't seem to be evolving past. And maybe it bothers you a little bit, and you've tried different ways and you've made different suggestions of how they could do things. So here's the solution. And your ego isn't going to like this, but your spirit's going to love it. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not doing anything wrong. They're having their experience. They're on their journey, which is absolutely perfect for them. They're getting complete with whatever behaviour it is. So when you think about them doing this thing, move your focus and attention within you and see, okay, what's coming up within me? You might feel irritated that they keep doing whatever it is they keep doing. You might feel afraid. You might think, fuck, if they keep doing what they're doing, it's like... So sit with it. See what's underneath. Now, in this world, we often think, but I'm just trying to help. So do you know the old phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions? So anyone who thinks they're being helpful, I'm extraordinarily wary of. Politicians are a fantastic example. You know, all sorts of socially active people who have great intentions, wonderful intentions, but the implementation of those intentions is usually quite destructive. It may be helpful to people who agree with that way of doing things, but there are lots of people on the other side of that that have not been consulted, that don't want to be involved in that way of doing things at all. So, witness what's passing through you, and what you may find is your own discomfort with what this person does or how they do it. And you're uncomfortable with that, so you're trying to control them in a sense. You just want them to live a little better because they'll be happier. And some of your concerns may be valid. Maybe they walk home late at night from work and you're thinking, fuck, would you not just get a taxi, spend the extra money, you'll be safe, nothing might happen to you. So I totally hear you. You have concern for this person, but within you is, in that instance, would be fear, would be pain of what may happen. So when you communicate in that instance of the taxi, when you communicate with them, your frequency is coming from a place of fear. And they're reflecting back to you the mirror. They're reflecting back to you a circumstance, a situation, them getting in a taxi, them walking home, that brings up your fear, that presents to you your fear. So it's our role here to become more conscious, more aware of what's going on. Put the phones down, get the fuck off Facebook, stop drinking, stop smoking cannabis, stop working so much, get the hell out of the fucking head and witness what's passing through me. Honor that frequency. You don't have to think it, you don't have to name it, you don't have to see where it's coming from, none of that. Witness the frequency that's passing through you in that instance. So as you can integrate that frequency, the next time, if you're moved by spirit, rather than feeling moved by your own fear and discomfort, if you're moved by spirit to open your mouth, you'd be moved and you'd be communicating from a different frequency. Without fear. You're not projecting your fear onto them. Oh, would you not get in a taxi? Oh, would you not do this? Oh, would you not live like that? Or you may be moved to go, ooh, must be nice walking home at night. What's it like? Do you see the moon? Do you see the stars? You'll begin to see a different perception. You'll come from a different place. So as you're coming from a different place, from a different frequency, they may receive a different frequency. Ultimately, and I'll try to finish on this, the reason things repeat in our life is because we haven't integrated the frequency. So the reason, say, that this person would continually walk home at night, and you might continually say, oh, would you not get in a taxi or get in a bus or buy a bicycle or whatever? And they go, no, and they keep doing it. So they're continually presenting your fear to you. And until you integrate that frequency, they will continue to, or that frequency will be continually presented to you. So it might not be this situation. It might not be this person. They might one night decide to get in a fucking taxi. They might move house away from you and never meet them again. But if you haven't integrated that piece of fear, it will still be presented by other people or other circumstances. It'll continually come up. I know that you've seen, if you look back over your life, that you'll see continual stuff that may have just been repeatedly presented, but just through different people, co-workers, different parts of the world. It's like, whoa, that's that same fucking feeling again. Why does it keep coming back? It keeps coming back because you haven't integrated it. Anyway, I recorded that video about a week ago, and you can probably hear from my sickly voice now. I'm recording this separately. Just an add-on. There's a couple of points I didn't mention that I'd like to add on now. People are not aware really of how they feel or what's passing through. And they often think they are. They think, I feel good. My life is okay. I feel happy. Or yes, I am depressed or I am unhappy. That's not enough. There's continual space to get deeper and deeper into what's passing through us in any given moment with that person who's struggling or in pain or that we want to make a suggestion to. So you can expand your own consciousness. We are unconscious. You're listening to this and you may be thinking, well, I'm awake. Or I woke up in whatever year. No, not really. It's a continual awakening. There's plenty of things that you're totally oblivious to, and myself too. Plenty of things that we can expand and have much more depth of awareness. So that's where we're moving with continual work. The other thing is, this exercise is not just a one-off. So if we can continually develop the degree of self-observation to watch ourselves, observe how we behave, observe how we respond or react, and we might see that some of our behaviors are no longer necessary and not really productive, or our projection, avoidance, escapism, addiction, and so on. So to develop that mindset of really seeing, what's going on here. If you want more, you have to become more conscious, and that involves work. It involves watching yourself and practicing this again and again and again. Constantly watching yourself, seeing how you behave, questioning it, and seeing, oh yeah, this is my addiction, or this is my own pain that I'm trying to fix somebody else, whatever it may be. Keep moving, keep working. It's continual. These are not one-offs like the video last week. The exercise in that as well, that can be done again and again. Keep doing these things. Keep looking, keep observing. Build that momentum of work on yourself and self-observation. It doesn't have to happen in the retreat. You don't have to spend loads of money. You don't have to go to the fucking mountains. Continually, you build that mindset that I'm working, I'm continually present, I'm looking for windows or gaps where I can expand a little more, to question myself and see why I'm doing this, what's the point of this, what's the purpose of this. Everything slows down. The ego then is disempowered, has to take a step back. Okay, so moving on. Hope that's of use. Any questions, let me know. Leave them down below. Please feel free to ask questions or get in touch and all that kind of lovely stuff. And I'll leave some links for my newsletter, Instagram, and that kind of stuff below. What else can I say? That's it. Enjoy your day. Be well. Thanks for listening.